What's going on, y'all? Taylor here with y'all 106.7. Today we are joined by the GM of Jelly Rolls Bar, Goodnight Nashville, who's also an investor and also the founder of Uncut Experience, Nashville Writers Round. There's so many words to describe you, Mr. Chase. Irwin.
What's going on?
Welcome.
Welcome.
I'm excited to have you here because we go way back.
We do.
Chase, for those that don't know, used to be my boss over at Whiskey Row Nashville. So it's just full circle moment having you here today.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy seeing what you've come from to what
I was a great employee. Let's be real.
Yeah, some would say.
Yeah. Now,
You would say.
Yeah. You've been in hospitality for a while.
Yep.
But now you're at the hottest new bar in Nashville. Tell us about Jelly Rolls Goodnight Nashville.
Well, it's 5 stories. You count the mezzanine as a story. It's really fun. We have a honky tonk on the first floor like most bars, but what we bring that's different than anywhere on Broadway is we have like a speakeasy that's in kind of on our 3rd floor, and it's hidden, really like an intimate setting.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty small, 75 people capacity. We also have a tattoo shop. So
Nice.
there's nowhere else on Broadway that had it. There is somewhere else maybe that has it now, but
You were the trendsetter.
actually Jelly Roll was.
Yeah.
That was one of his things that he wanted. He wanted to have a tattoo shop, and so we built it in there last minute.
What is it like working with Jelly? Because he just seems like the nicest human.
What you see and hear about him is exactly what he is in person.
Mm-hmm.
He's takes his hat off to say, meet everybody, guys and girls. Yes, sir. No, ma'am kind of guy. Very down to earth. So he's just what you see. And people always talk. People that don't know him, I was walking down your stairs right now, actually, and one of the guys was like, he seems like a really cool person.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's exactly what he is. So
Yeah.
he's fun.
Just very genuine. Tattoo shop. That's super cool. And we're going to be there on May 30th, I think it is. Yeah, because we're giving away 2 tickets to the Music City Rodeo to see Jelly Roll, which I'm really excited about because I've never been to Goodnight Nashville. So we'll get to hang out again.
Shame on you.
But y'all are throwing an after party, and we're also giving away 2 tickets to that. So I'm sure that's going to be the place to be because you never know who's going to stop by.
Well, I mean, it's the first rodeo in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Jelly Roll's one of the artists, so it's going to be, that lineup's going to be cool in itself, and I'm gonna guess that some people will come by after their performance, or send some people our way, and that's the cool thing about our bar, and one of the coolest things about Nashville is you just being a tourist, you never know who you're going to see in the bar. So
This actually is our first rodeo in Nashville. Yeah.
cannot wait.
But speaking of famous people, let's talk about Uncut Experience, the writers' round that you started. How long ago was that now? Like 5 years ago?
Yeah. So I mean, technically, when we were at Whiskey Row together, started the writers' round. We didn't call it Uncut Experience, but 2020 hit when we had COVID, and everything got shut down on Broadway, and I decided that artists weren't being able to tour, and there was a venue outside of Nashville, right outside of downtown, called Nashville Palace, and the owner was sitting in the big back room one day, and I went to see my friend Chris, who was the GM of the little tiny bar up front, and he said that the owner was in the back, and I went back there, and I could not believe how big of a space this place was. Went up to the owner and asked him, what's he doing with the space, and he said he doesn't have anything planned, and so I asked him if we could do an event there. And you know me, I'm a perfectionist. Like, I hate failing. So we decided to do one at Nashville Palace during COVID, during masks, and reached out to Mitchell Tenpenny, and he's always been great. And that's a great person, by the way. Reached out to Mitchell Tenpenny. He called, I think our first one was like Mitchell, Hardy, Ernest. And I remember the day that we were having it was on a Wednesday, and I remember sitting with my buddy, and I was setting up that whole venue, and he was like, why are you nervous? Like, what's going on? I'm like, man, this has to be like one of the best shows, or we're not going to ever have one again. And I think our first show we had 856 people show.
Oh, yeah, it was packed.
So that's why we then were like, all right, this is cool. We got this. So we did it monthly. We make no money on it. Never made money on it. We do charities. We want to raise money for when the tornado hit. We raised something like $75,000. That was with Mitchell back in the other bar, and then we've done Bomb. We did the raise for Bomb. I think we did $35,000. So it's more so to network. It's a fun hangout. It's not your typical writers round where you go and you listen and you be quiet. I do yell.
Yeah, my favorite thing is that you tell people to shut up.
It's more of like a hangout with friends and artists and bands. What I really want is to expose songwriters and band members to let them get some notoriety.
Yeah. I think that's good. You definitely support the songwriters, but then you also have the big names that stop by because you never know who's going to show up. We were at Country Radio Seminar, and Tucker Wetmore, I sent you that video clip when he was saying he was playing Uncut one day, and his management was like, you can't just play these writers rounds anymore. Like, you're a huge artist now. And he said the line was just wrapped around.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I could not believe it.
So you just never know.
That story was pretty wild. I called Tucker. I've known Tucker since he first moved here. And seeing what he's come from to where he's now is crazy. But I called him and asked him to do a writer's round, and he was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then 2 days before his manager called, she's like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have him doing this. And I was like, yeah, well.
He said he would. So
a little late for that.
Yeah.
We opened the doors it was Live Oak in Midtown.
Yeah.
We opened the doors at 5:30. He wasn't going on till 9, and the line was all the way down the road at 5:30. And I was like, damn, that's a surreal moment for him. When he walked in, he could not believe it. And he was like, so that's why he told that story.
Yeah, he's on the takeoff. So when is the next Uncut Experience?
We're actually doing our next one June 4th. We're going to kick off CMA Fest at Jelly Rolls. Our second floor, technically I guess it'd be our third floor. Bunny's floor is a huge open space. We have capacity to fit a little under 500 people, and the last one we did there was very successful, and so I hope this one is just as success, if not more successful.
And people can, what's your Instagram for Uncut? So people can,
Experience.
At Uncut Experience.
Yep.
All right. And what is your favorite thing about Nashville? Final question.
Favorite thing about Nashville is how nice people are.
Yeah.
I've lived in LA. I've lived in Arizona and Texas, and I've never come to a place where right when I got off the plane the first time I came here to see if I was going to move here, people were like greeting you and saying hi, how you doing and stuff like that. So I think that the niceness, and then, Broadway.
Yeah. Music City, baby. We hate the allergies. We love the people, and we love the music. Y'all come see us. It's actually Wednesday, May 28th for your chance to win VIP tickets to the Music City Rodeo and your way into the after party at Goodnight Nashville. Chase Irwin, everybody.